Thank you, Vicki, for those beautiful words. Our next guest speaker today is Garrett Anderson. Garrett is a young man who happens to have Down syndrome, who acts as an advocate of independent living and achievement for individuals with Down syndrome. He has a driver's license, he's earned his associate's degree in early childhood education from Harper College, and works at Bright Horizons near Deerfield in the area and teaches sign language to students. He's an exemplary citizen, role model, and young man, and I have had the pleasure of seeing Garrett speak, so I cannot wait for the audience now to hear him speak as well. Come on up, Garrett.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Garrett.
Thank you for the nice introduction and inviting me to speak to you today. I have a very strange question to ask you. Have any of you or your children ever been told you or they wouldn't, couldn't, or shouldn't be able to do something before you or they even tried? Oh, interesting. Most of the time, when I ask this question, very few hands are raised. They can only imagine how they would feel. Unfortunately, my parents and I do know how that feels. You see, 4 months before I was born, my parents were told that I had Down syndrome. Then they were told about all the things that I would never be able to do. How about that? I'm not even born yet, and people know what I will and won't be able to do. Luckily for me, after the initial shock wore on, my parents' response was, "Oh yeah, wanna bet?" That led to the very first thing my mom said to me on the night I was born. "Welcome, Garrett. We have been waiting for you for a while. We have a lot of work to do, and it starts right now." That strange greeting to their newborn was the beginning of my parents' road to advocacy. You see, they understood that success means different things to different people. My parents felt that whatever they could do to help me learn, grow, and achieve might possibly make a positive difference in my life. They sought out information and support wherever they could. Ups for downs, conferences, reading material, the internet, etc. They became keen observers of others with Down syndrome and their parents to help them decide what path I might follow. My parents' mantra to me soon became, "Never say can't, always say try." Now, don't get me wrong. The path my parents advocated for me has been anything but smooth. First, there were so many professionals that clung to operating on preconceived ideas of my worth and potential. Professionals, including educators, were quick to remind my parents at every turn that they had a child with Down syndrome, like they didn't know or could forget. These professionals would shake their heads and tisk tisk, as they surmised that my parents just hadn't dealt with my diagnosis and subsequent disabilities. Educators who supposedly supported lifelong learning would warn my parents yearly that, while I have done well in my classes this year, next year's classes were going to be harder and move faster. With shaky confidence gained through support and observation of various community members, my parents' yearly response would be, "We understand your concern. However, unless there will be a Down syndrome planet that Garrett can move when he is finished with school, that will ensure a community that is easier and moves slower. He will need to learn how to use his strengths and adapt to his weaknesses in the community he chooses to live in here on planet Earth. We are not expecting Garrett to be the best in his class, or even learn everything in the lesson plan. We only expect him to learn more about whatever subject by the end of the year than he did at the beginning." That was what my mom and dad and the educators expected for my two older brothers. So that is what my parents advocated for me. Now, even though I hate to admit it, I have been and continue to be at times a stubborn bump in my own road. That my parents had to advocate for me, to me. How about that? Sad, but true. Sometimes it was complaining that the work was too hard. After being highly encouraged to buckle down and try again, I generally would take that next step forward. My parents' response was usually, "What was the hard part, Garrett?" I hate when they are right. When I got into those preaching years and older, and my parents grew progressively less cool, they used others in the community as my advocates, classmates, ups for downs peer groups, school activities, etc., to highlight those all important social and functional skills that I needed. In fact, I'm still learning. As my parents would tell you, I am a work in progress. At the end of the day, I still have trisomy 21, Down syndrome, and I still have trouble doing a lot of things. But that doesn't keep me from working on them. However, due to persistent advocacy on a variety of levels, I have achieved more than most of the professionals ever thought I could. I am quite sure that is, or can be, the case for any one of you here today that has been told you won't, can't, or shouldn't be able to do something. I have started to advocate for myself, and over time, my parents' mantra has evolved into my own personal motto. Yes, I have Down syndrome, but to me, it's not good, and it is not bad. It just is. I think of it as something in life I have to deal with, like having to wear glasses or being short. Just like all of you, I try to use the talents I do have, along with what has been passed on by others that care about me, to turn obstacles into opportunities that can lead to success. If you don't take away anything else from today's day of awareness, I ask that you all remember that information plus support plus community equals advocacy. I am glad that my parents started early and did not wait until someone told them I was ready. In fact, Mark Victor Hansen, the creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul, puts it very well. Don't wait until everything is just right. It will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, obstacles, and less than perfect conditions. So what? Get started now. With each step you take, you will grow stronger and stronger, more and more skilled, more and more self-confident, and more successful. When it comes to advocating for those of us with Down syndrome or any disability, if not you, who? If not now, when? I would like to thank my parents and Upper Downs for helping to build my road to advocacy. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and enjoy the rest of your day.
What an absolute honor to have Garrett here to show us what life really is all about. Thank you, Garrett.